Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. Today I'm going to be making a traditional pumpkin pie, which is going to be perfect for Thanksgiving. Those of you who might not know, us in Canada celebrate a little bit earlier than our American neighbors to the south. Our Thanksgiving is in early October, as opposed to the American version, which is in late November. So we're going to put this video out just in time for us Canadians, and hopefully everybody can make this pumpkin pie and celebrate a Thanksgiving. To make our pumpkin pie, we're going to be using 2 whole eggs for the filling, and the third egg is for just using the egg white, which will be part of the egg wash. We're going to be using 1 cup of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of evaporated milk. We're going to be using a 9-inch pie plate, and optional is a leaf cutter. We are going to need 1.5 cups of pure pumpkin, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch with half a teaspoon of salt, and you're going to need 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cloves, and you're going to need pie crust. You can use prepared already if you want to, or you can find this recipe on our apple pie recipe, and we'll link that for you. To make the filling, what we're going to do is put our brown sugar into our mixing bowl, and then also add in the cornstarch and the salt and the spices. So just going to turn that on just to incorporate it very briefly. And while that's mixing, I'm going to put in my pumpkin. And allow that to mix together. And I'm going to slowly add 1 egg at a time. So I'm just going to briefly stop it and make sure I've scraped down the sides of the bowl. And then the last thing I'm going to add is going to be the condensed milk, or sorry, the evaporated milk. So I'm just going to add this very slowly, and I'm going to let it mix in all together, and then the filling is ready, and I'm just going to set it off to the side and get my pie crust ready. So the next step is to roll out our dough to fit our 9-inch round pie plate. So I'm just rolling it out quite gently, and if you need to keep your rolling pin floured, just rub it with some excess flour and just keep rolling it like this. You want it to be fairly thin, probably between 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch thick. So once you've got it all rolled out to the size of the pan that it will fit into the plate, I'm just going to take my spatula here, or you might want to use just like anything you know that you use in breakfast time, flipping eggs and stuff. You can use anything flat to lift that up. Now I'm moving my pie plate in. I'm just going to use 2 hands underneath the dough, trying not to rip it. And then I'm going to place it in the pan just like that. And then just start typing, or just sort of touching it on the side here, going around and curving it down just gently. And then anything that's overhanging, we're going to cut off just with regular clean kitchen scissors. And then I'm going to use the extra to make a nice little border. So don't throw those scraps away. And that's what I'm going to do next. So I have my scraps of pie dough rolled out here, and I'm going to use my leaf cutter just to provide a little extra border to the pie. So I'll cut out a couple of these to show you what to do next. In my bowl here, I've got my egg white only, and I'm going to take my brush, and I'm just going to dip it a little bit and then wipe the edges of the pie crust. And this is what's going to help the leaves stick to it. So once I've done that, I just take the leaf and just press it onto the side there. And I'm going to do this and go all the way around. But before I do that, I'm just going to show you a little extra detail you can do. Just take your toothpick and just go down the center, and it just adds a little bit more of a realistic look to your leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and finish around the rest of the pie, then I'll be back to show you the next step. So before we put the filling in, I'm just going to put a little bit more of a touch of the egg white onto the leaves, going around the top here of the border. This will just help them when they're baking. It will just brown them quite nicely. And there's lots of different egg washes that you can use. This is just one version of them. So once that is all touched up, I'm going to take my filling and slowly pour it into the cake, into the pie. And I just want to make sure it's just below the leaves like it is here. Perfect amount. So now it's ready for the oven. So you're going to want to put it in at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 60 to 70 minutes. And then you can bring it out and let it cool. And then I'll show you the finished cake, or the finished pie. I have cake on the brain. So there you go, everybody, how to make pumpkin pie from scratch. It's perfect for any family get-togethers over the next holiday season. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. And you can find us on Twitter, Google+, and Facebook. I will see you again next time.